Welcome to Spotlight on Everyday Hero podcast, where we celebrate amazing people and their incredible journeys. Today, we're pumped to have Dina Onur joining us. She went from working her corporate career to starting her own business in healthcare and real estate. Dina's story is all about never giving up, being ready to change when needed, and always wanting to help others. She kicked off Optimum Home Healthcare and later jumped into buying and fixing up properties to build generational wealth. Dina's tips on staying flexible, making friends with like-minded people and similar goals, and growing personally will definitely fire you up. She also chats about how facing tough times can actually make you stronger. So let's dive right in together as we discover the secrets to rocking both work and life through Dina's amazing journey.
So for the past 2 years, I've been working on I call it 10X project. I've developed a 2-unit luxury condos in Boston in very expensive neighborhood right on the Charles River. I've never did anything like this before. I did a lot of remodels. And this is ground up construction where you're taking down the house and you're rebuilding everything from scratch. So you have like a lot of underground utilities that you need to connect. And you also have conservation that you're dealing with because my lot is right on the Charles River in a 200 feet buffer zone. Then also you have a special permit and you have city council because the lot is narrow and you need to get a relief for the setback. So my project was the most difficult that anyone like talked to me or looked at it. They're like, oh my God, this is your first project. This is what you're dealing with. And I'm like, yeah, why? Is it that hard?
That's
So,
what I'm talking about. You touching the
yeah,
stuff that I would be like, ooh. You're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get it
yeah,
done.
yeah. I mean, when we bought the property and we kind of figured out, oh, this is what we're gonna have to do, then I was like, okay, I mean, if that meant to be, it meant to be. I couldn't like turn around and just resell it and go find another project. For me, it just meant things happen for a reason. And was my reason to actually, I wanted to learn new construction. I wanted to grow, and that's landed in my hands. And that was an opportunity for me to assemble my team of architects, engineers, wetland specialists, you name it, like all of the people I had to interview, hire, and tell them exactly what I wanted to create and work with them along the way to develop this project, to develop the documentation in order to get a building permit. So it took like 2 years of development. And we are right now, we're going to be putting a foundation next week. So things are rolling and they're going fast.
Yeah, no, this is pretty amazing. I want to get back to that project 100% and learn more about um, the skill set that you had to acquire along the way. But before we get there, how did you even get started with real estate? Why real estate? And what was your journey up to the point before real estate, right? Because I know you have another company that you started, and I want to kind of get a little more information as to what was that passion project about.
Sure. So before I started the company, I worked in the corporate world. I hold masters in regulatory affairs of drugs, biologics, and medical devices. So I was flying to Korea, Taiwan, Japan, working with ministries of health to get medical device product into those markets. So I was working with like development team, marketing team, and knowing all the regulations. So I got so beat up in 5 years and I was tired. I was ready to move on to something else. And at the same time, even though we were making a difference, in medical device industry, I wanted to have direct impact, to the people. I wanted to see exactly like I'm making a difference in someone else's life. So for me, it was not only like leaving the corporate, but also finding something that I wanna make a difference to someone. I want to see the impact. I don't want to wait years and years to see, well, this medical device helped so many people, but you know, it's not as fast. It's not as it's you don't see the moment. And for me, it was very important to be part of it, actually. So I did a lot of research and I started a home healthcare company. I started without getting a franchise. I did all my policies and procedures myself. And I also hired a company that helped me work along the way, those policies and procedures. And then um, there was a lady who joined me. She's an emergency room nurse. She became my partner. And we've been together for 8 years now. I feel like it's perfect business marriage. A lot of people say, like, how do you stay with your partner for so many years? How do you guys like never have disagreements or anything like that? Just, it just happens. You feel if this is the right person, you work along the way, and sometimes you, um, make certain decisions together, and sometimes you have to, insist on something else. It's just like a relationship, also like a personal relation. That's a business relationship too. So,
So I really want to hone in on the part where you transition
mhm.
from the corporate, right? So how was that for you in terms of what were you going through emotionally, mentally? Or you make it sound like it's so easy, which I'm
Wasn't
sure it
easy.
was.
No,
Maybe,
no.
maybe not.
No, the moment when when I made a decision to make a change, to leave the corporate, to give my 2 week notice, I also find out I'm pregnant. Um, and
Wow.
so
Okay. Add that to the
still,
mix.
yeah. And also, I I'm going to be leaving my job, so I'm going to have zero income, and I'm starting the business. I'm going to use my savings to get that up and running. So leaving, yeah, I was making over 100K at that time. It was a really good paying job. And everyone thought that I was crazy, like literally crazy. What the heck I was doing? Like my family did not believe me. My family did not support me the way I wanted to be supported. They doubted me because I was running around like crazy trying to promote my company, hire employees, find clients. I was wearing many hats. Um, and it was difficult start. First year was the most difficult thing. I'm so happy that my partner joined me and we did a lot of, she did not leave her emergency room job because she worked at night. In the daytime, we, could do multiple things together.
So where did
It
you get
was
that strength to continue to plug through?
I
Because I
believed in
know
myself.
in
I
my
believed I could do it. I
yeah.
saw the other companies. I saw there is a lot of home healthcare companies. They're doing it. Why can't I do it? I want to do it. I want a piece of market. And it's not very saturated market, I would say. Yes, there's home healthcare companies, but they're not like they're right on, on every corner, like you see a gas station, you know what I mean? So for me, I saw a light at the end of tunnel. I really did. And I believed in myself that anything is achievable. All you have to do is you just have to work a little bit harder than you would like at the corporate world, just sitting and writing and attending meetings. It's very corporate world for me was such a slow pace. Actually, I want to add up. That's also one of the reasons why I left the corporate. It was very slow pace. We had to follow protocols. Decisions were made, they dragged for months. So I was getting very frustrated why we couldn't move forward with certain projects. And I wanted to get from A to Z in
Mhm.
overnight, but things weren't happening. And I wanted to have control over things too. So I feel like it's like the pace of the corporate, things that I can make decisions for also. So as I talk, like I learned more about myself. So I like this podcast.
Yes, absolutely. And then
Oh,
belief in yourself, right? So did that
mhm.
come from somewhere, maybe how did you gain that, I guess?
I also, when I was not little, but when I was like a teenager in college, my 20s, I worked alongside with my father who immigrated from Russia, and he had all kinds of businesses. He had nonprofit business. He had the one where you buy and sell things. And I always was part of it. I always was like either setting up the offices or meeting with clients or soliciting donations. I've had so many different things that I had to do and learn myself how to do it. My father did not speak English, so everything kind of was on my and my sister's shoulders. And that was kind of that's how I grew up. I grew up with figuring things out on my own. My dad would tell me, okay, here's what you're going to do. We're gonna go and buy a mining drills, and you're flying to Chicago, and you're gonna meet with people, and you're gonna check the product out. You're gonna place an order, and we are going to buy it, and we're gonna ship it to Russia. So I had to figure out the logistics, meet with people, look at specifications. Even though I didn't hold my master degree at that time, I was already kind of like building up to to the level where I would like go into school and study that. So it was like and it was many different projects. One time we were buying clothes, medical supply, mining drills, you name it. So it was just very different. Or it was a humanitarian aid. We would be shipping container loads to Haiti and helping schools, and it was a lot, and it was just year after year I grew as an individual, and my mindset opened up wider to many different things, not only to doing one thing but to doing multiple things. So multitasking is something that I'm really good at, something that I've been taught since I was little.
Yeah. So big shout out to your dad. Hi, Dad, for setting this girl up on fire and successful, teaching her all the great skills that she has right now, but also the fact that you went into the healthcare and that deep-rooted desire to help others, which you weren't getting that feedback from your corporate job, drove you to get more curious, do more research, and get into the field where you actually can see that actual feedback and see the results of your hard work all the time that you're putting into your customers and how they're receiving it. And it sounds like it's priceful for them because they're at the age of life where they don't have a lot of support and they need that home care. So you're the only person for them that they can truly rely on.
That is true, but also, some people would be living alongside with their son or daughter, and those people are usually working full time. They have kids, they're busy, so it's a relief for them as well. So, each situation is very different. We do have clients that live by themselves. Some of them don't even have anyone. They only rely on us. And we have clients where they would be living with their family, but the family is also busy with all the things that are happening in their lives. So we are a supplement to, helping them with caring for mom or dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So it sounds like your company is up and running now, pretty successful, kind
Mm.
of like a self-oil machine. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
yeah.
curious and fidgety again. What can I do now? What else can I challenge
Yeah.
myself with?
I want to just say I love the way it is my company right now. We're like under, 50 to 60 employees. And I wanted to stay like that. I wanted to stay a small field too. Whenever the client comes in, they have so many things going on, and they're not looking for a corporate world. They're not looking for just for their mom or dad to be just a number, and we want to provide that one-on-one care. We want to know their mom and dad by their name, what happened. And I don't want to grow out of a small company. I wanted to stay that way, to feel like we're an extension of their family.
I love that. I love that. And
Mhm.
do you want to mention the name of your company in case some of the
Sure.
listeners are looking for
It's
that type of?
Yeah, it's optimal home health care. We provide non-medical care, personal care, transportation with care. Also, like if someone has appointment at doctors, we'll take them to the doctors. We can cook meals. We can go do errands with them, or the caregivers can go by themselves. We can like, if mom or dad have daycare, we can get them ready for the daycare, put them on the bus, meet them when they come back home, get them ready for bed. Or if some people need 24/7, some people are bed bound, use Hoyer lifts. We do all of that as well.
Amazing. Sounds like it's a full service care that you've created.
Mhm.
I mean, applause to you for thinking that it's needed and actually believing in your product and actually delivering that service for
Mm.
folks that are. How many customers do you currently have?
So we have about 30 customers and
Mhm.
double the employees because if some employees, they work only on the weekends, they do part-time, some work full-time. So usually it's the double employees than what you have for your clients.
Wow, so you can provide that optimal healthcare as the name of the
Yeah.
company. Awesome. We'll provide the
Yeah.
contact information, the details of this podcast. So now, moving on to the real estate, where did that come from, or how did you discover that?
So it happened while I was actually in my, can remember, second year, I think, into home health care. And I've had some conversations with clients, and they were asking, well, mom, is going to be moving into assisted living facility. We want to sell the house. Or there was an instant where the client passed away, the family was living out of state. They were asking to put them in touch with the local real estate agent and help them declutter the house. So it was just like a couple of touches with real estate alongside home health care. And also about that time, I started to listen to Bigger Pockets, Brandon Turner, and I got
Mm.
so inspired. I started to read Scott Trench books, and it just like I had an idea that I'm going to buy my multifamily home and I'm going to burn it. I'm going to buy, rehab, rent, and refinance out of it. I love that strategy. There was a lot of strategies, but that's the one that um, was my preference.
Resonated with you, yeah?
Yes, 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 yes. So that's how I bought my first property. I bought my first property um, from a lady that actually worked for me. She told me the person that lived there, we didn't provide services to him, but he was moving into assisted living facility. And she said, Dina, there is this property they're going to be selling. Would you be interested? And I was like, let me look at it. So it kind of landed in my hands that way. And that's how I bought it. I completed a first strategy. I realized how much potential there is there. And that's where my kind of real estate journey begins.
You
And
realize that.
also, my family also wasn't sure. My father was saying, "Why are you buying this rundown home? What are you going to do with all of this? It's not a good investment." So no one saw what I saw. No one read the books that I read, and I kind of had the vision where I was going with all of this. And after a while, I think everything settled at home, and we started to buy more homes.
You finally convinced people when they saw the money coming in.
Yeah.
So did you end up selling those properties, or you still?
No, no, no. I buy and hold. I'm a buy and hold investor. I also believe that your wealth comes from buying and holding, not buying and flipping. And I'm very thankful for that. As years go by, you can refinance, pull the equity out, and it continuously pays your mortgage. So I'm loving the buy and hold strategy.
Yeah, I've actually met a guy who flipped over 200 homes in his lifetime and his career. And he's like, Katrina, if only I kept half of those homes, or at least like a quarter, I would have been all set now.
I know, I know. Well, those thoughts come with time, maybe that's just meant to be that way. So maybe, other families needed to buy them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Absolutely. It's ebb and flow,
Mhm.
right? That's how it is in life. Now that you have this passion for real estate, and sounds like you're still doing both, right? You're doing real estate and also maintaining a business, and you have this corporate career behind your belt. How do you, if you could do it all over again,
Mhm.
knowing what you know now, having the
Mhm.
skills that you have now,
Yeah.
would you change something in your life? Meaning, like, would you do something sooner, or would you wait until later, or not do something that you did?
Mm. I just feel like everything builds up to where you are today. What I would change, what I would tell myself, probably purchase properties earlier in your 20s than in your late 30s.
It's never too late, though. It's never too late.
Yeah,
But
it's never too late.
sooner
That's
is better.
true. But I would tell myself to buy real estate and It doesn't matter, where the market is. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis because over time, real estate appreciates. It's just a matter of starting somewhere. And that's what I would tell myself. Otherwise, I don't think I would have want to change anything in my, professional career. I am very thankful for, every moment of it. And I just think that's what made me who I am today.
Yeah, very beautifully said. And one thing that you just mentioned, you said it's important to just take a step, take action. You research, you purchase, you do whatever it takes. So for folks that are listening, if what suggestions do you have to how do you take action? Because sometimes taking action is the hardest part, and that's where analysis paralysis comes in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how do you
I
take
mean,
action?
it's for me, it's very easy, just have to make financial sense. Basically, you don't want to be out of pocket. If you're making a little bit of money, that's absolutely amazing. If you're breaking even, that's okay too, because over time things can grow, things you can improve. And it's also not a game about the number of doors. It's a game about the cash flow. A lot of
Mm.
people say, I own 100 homes, but how much cash flow do they really bring? So it's important not to run after the number of doors or number of houses, but to have an actual number set. Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to accomplish? Because I mean, it's good to own 100 homes, but you don't know how much cash flow they're bringing. So those people that market it that way, I own 100 homes, we don't know what their financial situation is like. I mean, I wouldn't want to own 100 homes and make $100 on each of them. So I would want to be a little bit more aggressive. So it's all depends on your comfort zone. And like I said, things appreciate over time. What costs today $10, 10 years from now, it's not going to be five. It's going to be 15 or 20. So look at it that way. And a lot of people get stuck. Oh, the interest rates, they're up or down. It also doesn't matter. You can always refinance out. And even if the price is high, if you didn't buy it at the right time, and if your strategy is to buy and hold, it doesn't matter 10, 15, 20 years from now what the price was today. So make sure you put a strategy together and you know where you're going to go with this. It's kind of like a roadmap for the next 5 to 10 years, or maybe even longer, 15 or 20. I mean, it's even better. And stick to it. I mean, of course, things can happen throughout the life, but when you have this nest that builds up over time, that's your kind of like, that's your saving that continuously grows.
Yeah. Do you believe in setting long-term goals?
Absolutely, I do. I try to do them at least for the next like 5 years or so. They're very vague, but at least I know this is where I want to be.
Hmm. And how have you been? Was there times in life where you actually had to pivot because you learned something different along the way, or maybe some roadblocks came and you had to naturally curve because it just wasn't in the.
Yeah, of course, life will adjust your life will adjust your goals for sure. It's normal,
Mhm.
it's normal when you are planning something and things come up and you have to switch gears and do something else. I feel like you have to. That's the thing also about me. I'm staying flexible. I go with the flow. I kind of set my goal and then if the life turns me right, I go right and I turn left and straight. So I kind of go along the way. I never try to go through the rock. But
Yeah,
that's also, I think, personality wise, some people are very goal driven and they will be
rigid.
very
Yeah,
focused. But I feel like if you stay
right.
flexible, but you also know where you want to get, and it's okay to make changes to it, you will be fine.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So now let's talk a little bit about my one of the final questions of the interviews, and we can always add more to it. But I'd like to know, what is your definition of success? And if you consider yourself successful right now in your career.
So I thought about that. I thought about that question that you're going to ask. And the definition of success, actually, for me, it's just kind of probably professional definition of success and your personal definition of success.
Okay.
So I kind of split it in two, because I thought about it. What is it to me? Definition of success personally is when you come home and you are happy and your family, my little girl, she's 7 years old, she sometimes randomly comes up to me and she says, Mom, you know what? I love you. And
Oh,
that
even
is
my heart
it. That's
melted.
my definition of success. When you get feedback from your kids
Uh-huh.
that, will say certain things randomly and like you tear up and you're like, really, you love me for what? So my definition of success when your cup is full at home, when you see your loved ones are being happy. And professionally wise, definition of success is when I come home and at the end of the day, I feel as I made a difference in someone's life, either, talking to them, sending them a message, guiding them, giving them my hand and making a difference in their life, whether it's, whatever it may be. So for me, it's very important to lift up people from where they are. And of course, I try to share my content on Instagram media. And for me, the definition of success also to show them that anything is possible, that it can be done, not to show them where I am and what I'm doing, but more or less to teach them, maybe not to follow me, but they can do that too. I'm not different from them. I'm just like them. So,
Right, right. That's a perfect golden nugget because everyone, there's a lot of people that show success on Instagram and other social media platforms. And I feel like a lot of people, they show it in a way where they're showing off.
mm,
Where you are of a different mindset. For you, it's really important to show them that, hey, I'm just like you. I come from not a lot of money, but I'm able to create a lot of money because I'm able to put that time and effort, and it does take a lot of time and effort. And I'm I was pretty amazed of your story where you changed your job when you got pregnant and you
mhm,
continued to plug through towards your dream, and look at you, you're successful, you have a successful home care company, and now you're pursuing real estate career on top of that while raising a young daughter, and you have
mm,
two that are already adult kids.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
It's a
feels
lot.
just, that's me. That's who I am. A lot of people ask me, where do you have that energy? I don't know, just like I'm not interested in sitting and watching TV. I'm interested to grow. I'm interested to learn, to network with people, to help them, to understand how do we make things happen, to take on new projects, to lead projects, to make difference. That's what how I get up in the morning, and that's what gets me going. What's next?
Right. I love that. You already wake up charged up. Do you have maybe a morning routine that you go through that kind of
Yeah, I know
sets you?
everyone talks about that morning routine. I'm not the morning person. I try to get up early enough, but I also go to bed sometimes late. So I don't have a morning routine. It would be lovely if I had one. But I don't, just because I have the little one and she is my morning routine.
All right. That's it. So you do have one, it's just not yours.
Yes.
Not fully
Mhm.
yours, but it sounds like she gets you in a perfect mindset to conquer the day, and she
Yeah.
is your why for a lot of things. Now, last but not least, what is your favorite book?
Ooh, my favorite book. There is so many of them.
Just give me one that comes
Probably
to mind.
the simplest one is Rich Dad and Poor Dad. That's kind of also like a mindset book. Everyone talks about it. Like if you really think, what is it, real estate? Just start reading that. And that's gonna, that's gonna make you think about, oh wow, this is how you can do it. It's a very simple book, but highly recommend. I mean, I have like three books on the floor right now that I'm like trying to tackle.
Yeah, on the floor though. Maybe you should
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
them
yeah.
up
I'm
to the
like,
table level.
yeah, that we have papers everywhere, checkbooks and stuff on the table, but the books are like if you get up from the table, you grab a book.
Yeah.
Mm,
So to wrap it up, for someone
mhm,
who is listening to this interview and maybe they're stuck, right? And whatever
mhm,
it is, maybe it's not real estate that they're pursuing, but they're just stuck. They don't know what to do next. Maybe they're in a career that they no longer serves them, but they don't know how to make that change, and they're afraid
mhm,
what
mhm.
that change brings. What would you say to them?
Surround yourself with people that have the same interest as you. Whether you are trying to switch careers, go join, a mastermind, go join, a networking event, try to connect with people on social media and talk more about it. You're never alone. There is always something out there. There is mastermind groups that you can join, so many great people that you can meet and learn more about the industry that you're interested in. It doesn't have to be real estate. Whatever you're passionate about, move on. Don't let your energy stay still. It needs to continuously grow. Or it can die, or you can get just stuck and unhappy in one place. You have to move. Energy
Love it.
has to move.
Right.
So, networking, reading books, I love reading books. That's what got me, thinking about different things is a must, a must. Set yourself up to read every day a little bit, If you do little baby steps every day, you will make progress over time. Sometimes people are very busy, they have kids, they have school, there is a lot of going on with families sometimes. Just, give yourself 30 minutes a day. Find that time, whether it's at night, at day, when your lunch break, whatever it may be. That 30 minutes a day will definitely, you will see progress over a year.
Yeah.
Not
So
doing anything is the worst things you can do. But,
right. But I like how
you
you
know,
said stay consistent, right? Like 30 minutes
yes,
you can, it's so
yeah,
hard, easy to lose the stamina. You
oh
can
yeah,
start, but
yeah.
you can stop
Yeah.
easily when you
It's like when
start.
you're exercising, how are you building the muscles when you're exercising? The
Yeah.
only way to build the muscle is to exercise, and consistency, that's what's going to get you there. So if you want to be a professional at certain thing, start exercising, start reading, start communicating, start networking, get out there. Sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Right.
I've been there. I know that. Sometimes you feel you're the silliest person in the room, and it's okay to be like that. It's good to
Hmm.
ask questions and learn from them.
Yeah.
People are not looking to look down on you, say, oh, you're new at this. Some people will look up and say, hey, do you need a hand? And I will be one of them.
Oh, that's
Hey, do you need a hand?
awesome. What
Yeah.
a lovely message. What a lovely message of hope, lovely message of, there are people that are looking to help, absolutely. And I think by surrounding yourself by people that are doing more than you do, it will naturally incline you to do more of that. That's a beautiful message you sent out there. I really, really appreciate that. You mentioned that you have a lot of every time you're starting something scary, you have people around you that are like, no, 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 this is scary, don't do it. Like they're all like, all those coming into your, talking
Yeah.
to you in different.
Usually, those are the people that don't want you to grow. They're very
Mhm.
comfortable where you are. They're used to seeing you the way you are. They don't know where you're going, but they don't want to follow you. But they will also, maybe in a way, they don't want to fall. They don't want to see you fall down.
But they
But
don't
you
want to
have
lose you the way you are,
yeah.
right? That's what you're
But
saying.
you have the energy, and you can't stop yourself from not doing something. At least I can't. I
Mm.
can put myself back into a closet and say, Okay, we're not going to open these doors,
Mm-hmm.
It's usually your family and your friends that are surrounded. They're not sure what's happening
Right.
because they're
And
not
what,
familiar with that.
right, right. For them,
Mm,
it's super scary. And how do you, and when you get successful, like on the level that you are, there are people, I feel like the circles, your circle of trust becomes people that either happy for you, genuinely happy,
mhm.
or people that maybe slowly shift off and fall off because they may be a little jealous of what's going on, unsure, and those haters.
I mean, it's normal, people that don't want to grow, they want to stay in one place, they will stay there, and you will continue to get to the next level and create different groups of people that are you're interested with, you're interested to talk about, you have different goals, you have different mindset. It will naturally happen over time. You don't have to focus on that. Things will fall into place. I don't focus on that. I know it's happening and I see it's happening, but I just let it be in a way. The universe will make decisions for you.
Yeah, like a
And it
natural
will, yeah,
extinction
yeah,
in the
yeah.
animal world, right? Some
Mhm.
die out, some new are born. So in order to create a space for new people, some old people have to leave your life, right?
Yeah. Same thing when I go shopping. If I buy something from my closet gotta go. That day I bring it home.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
my strategy. That's when my husband doesn't feel like, oh my God, you have so much clothes.
Well, why not just build another closet?
True, but I don't know if he wants to.
I know, but it's nice to get rid of things. It actually, I think metaphysically too, once you get rid of something, like I like cleaning my house sometimes and truly like getting rid of things, throwing things away, or giving them up to someone who really needs
Mhm,
those things that I no longer
mhm.
use because for me, they don't no longer serve their purpose. And for me, I feel like I have more space in my house somehow, even though,
More energy flowing.
right.
It's not
Yeah.
as I feel the same way. Absolutely. I declutter the house probably every month just because we have a little one and she has toys that no longer
Mm.
she plays with. I get rid of them. We don't need this. We don't need, of course, she's attached to a lot of them, but if I see she's not, we donate it.
So much wisdom just flew or penetrated through us and out, which was great.
I was very thankful to myself for being humble and reaching out to you. We've been friends for a long time, but not close friends. We knew each other through a friend. But I saw that you were in the real estate industry and I too, and I wanted to connect and learn more what you're doing and how's your life going and how things. And I'm so thankful that I reached out, just like I suggest to everyone, reach out to the people you want to reach out to, ask them questions, take them out for a coffee. And that's where magic happens. That's where you continuously grow together sometimes. So that's it. Very thankful
Yeah,
for
and I
you.
think after that moment, thank you so much. I like how you're so grateful for a lot of things in your life and you express it verbally. I do want to thank you because you kind of jumpstart me on the path of the podcast because I always wanted to do it for the last 2 years. That ideas was captivating and bruling, burling,
Bowling.
bowling, whatever it was. Brewing. There you go.
Bowling.
It was brewing. And then after we met, I was like, this lady has to be heard. So after meeting you for that coffee that you asked me to go out to, the idea just literally catapulted and you set me on fire and I created the intro, created the outro, I connected with my videographer. Hi, Ryan. And I started this thing. So I appreciate your being that
Oh, that's so
catalyst in my life.
amazing. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so
So,
glad.
so any feedback about my podcast, send it to Dina. It's her fault.
Oh
But
my
yeah, it's
God.
interesting. It's interesting
Yes.
how we
Mhm.
charged each other up, and then
Yeah.
you wanted to do your book club, and I think you're started to post a lot more on social media too, so you can
Mhm.
become more active and spread that message that people can do
Mhm.
anything they set their mind to.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the message that we're going to leave everyone off with. You guys are awesome. You guys are powerful human beings. Just set your mind on it and work your ass off.
That's
Mic drop.
exactly what we do, I feel. But in a way that you enjoy it, actually. Not only, find your whys, find your interests, most important thing.
Yeah.
Don't follow the money. Don't follow the money. Follow your
Right.
dreams. Mhm.
That's it. Money is just a mechanism to get to
Mhm.
things, right? It's an energy. It's an
Buy
energy
one
of
or two real estate properties and then follow your dreams. That
well,
would
you
be your
have to have
savings account.
yeah, you do have to have your bottom line paid, so you do have to
Mhm.
have your bills paid and whatnot. But real
Yeah.
estate could get you there as one of the things, not the only ones, but you know, definitely a
Mhm.
proven method.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dina.
you,
Thank you
Katrina. It
for
was
your
so much fun to be here. I really
uh,
appreciate it. I want to see this podcast grow, and I wanted to bring value to listeners. And it's definitely good that you started it. It's not a paid job,
it's a
but it's an
passion project.
amazing
It's a
job
passion
of
project.
interviewing people and learning how they've got to where they are today.
Right. And just talking to you, you charge me up with like, okay, Katrina, you're on the right way. Keep on doing what you're doing. So I think,
That's it.
as you said, reach out to people, talk to people that are like-minded because there is a cross-pollination that happens when you talk to like-minded people. And you guys both are charging from each other like we just did. And hopefully we charge you guys as our listeners to try something new today, whatever it is, whether it's a new hobby or whatever. Thanks for tuning in to Spotlight on Everyday Heroes. Did you enjoy hearing the inspiring story of our guest? Are you feeling motivated to carve out your own unique path to success? If so, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you want to join the conversation and share your own success story, or if you have a guest recommendation, head on over to our website at www.capitalturners.com and let us know. But remember, success is not just for the lucky few or the well-connected ones. It's all about taking action, confronting fears, and staying consistent with following your own vision of success. So keep on crafting your own path, and we'll see you on the next episode of Spotlight on Everyday Heroes.